I'm like fucking that fucking Tiger Woods, lad. We need some heavyweight tough season to build some depth. Yeah, but if they're all fat, then don't let them in. Honestly, chat, yes or no? Fuck training. Fuck records. Fuck what gym they come out of. If they're fat, they ain't allowed in. Straight up. You're not going to be a champion. You're not going to be a top contender. End of fucking discussion. If you're morbidly obese, you're just straight up not allowed in. That needs to be a fucking requirement. Straight up. I don't care if you've beaten guys before. I really don't care. Just bring athletes in, dude. If someone's like reasonably athletic, bring them in. They don't even have to have a record. Dude, DC's not fat like these guys are fat. You say, what about DC? But chat, yes or no, DC's not really fat. When he was in his career, he wasn't a fat guy. Derek Lewis was genuinely a fucking unit with a thin layer of fat over the top of him. Well, if you really know DC, dude, he wasn't as fat in his fighting days. He wasn't, no. People called him fat because he didn't have abs. But that's just his build because he has inverted ribs. But he was a fucking unit, dude. Thank you very much. I mean, look at DC during his wrestling days. How fucking yoked he was, you know, when he was a little leaner. He just had to put on some fucking, you know, to use his strength as his advantage. Diamond gonna chin Max. I don't see it. Impression of McGregor. I think Poirier has looked quite bad in his last few fights. I'll be honest. Even against Makhachev. And that's crazy, but takedown defense-wise, he looked good. But in his striking, I think he's looked quite bad his last few. Oh, I can't get any other interviews? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been reaching out to too many fighters, but the last few I have, they've turned it down. Is Bedtime MMA Australian or Black American? He's Australian, but he's obsessed with, like, Flight Reacts, Curry, Steph Curry. He's like a wigger, basically, right? He does a lot of, like, Zoomer slang, Finna this, on crit. Like, I say it ironically, but he does as well. Maybe he does it ironically as well. But that's his, like, that's his niche, you know? He's a Zoomer. But I think he, like, I don't know. I have never heard him actually directly reference Flight Reacts, but I know that's his niche, you know? I really know that's his niche. If yes or no, chat, if he had a face camera on, I really believe this. If he had a face cam on for his videos, you'd see him doing this a lot more. You know? That type of shit. I bet you anything. He would do that, like, a lot, I reckon, if he had a constant face cam on. That's just his type of... That's his world, friend. You're in Bedtime's world, friend. You're a Flight Reacts comment section, folks. Come to life. I don't know. That's the vibe I get. It's not even like an insult. It's just like a soul read, in a way. I don't know. Sometimes I'm on an NBA Instagram comment section. I'll be like, oh, that's where Bedtime got that joke from. You know? Like, I'll be in an NBA comment section. I'll be like, oh, that's where Bedtime got his way of describing that from. You know what I mean? That's where Bedtime got that way of speaking from. That's where Bedtime got that little way of summing things up from. And I don't know. You notice it, you know. I think he's a big basketball fan, if I had to guess. But he's cool. He just picked Teixeira like a fucking loser. Zulala. Random, but Zabit versus Prime Holloway. Who wins? Zabit fans, it's just... I don't know who wins that one, dude. Who knew? Who knows, dude? Is it the guy who can't fucking knock out anyone ever, no matter how many wheel kicks he throws, and can't go into the fourth round ever? Or is it Max Holloway? Honestly, dude, I have no idea. No idea, dude. Here, I'll throw you a question back. Who wins? 5-rounder, Kyle Bochniak or Zabit Magomedsharipov? Now we're talking. Now we're talking. But he schooled Qatar, bro. He did school Qatar for 2 rounds. And then he was getting broken in the 3rd round by Calvin Kattar. Because why? Why was it a 3-round fight? Because they were the co-main event. And the UFC wanted to make them the main event. They did make them the main event. Calvin Kattar said, I'm down for that. I'm down for being the main event. They asked to go 5 rounds, and Zabit said, I'm not doing it if it's 5 rounds. 3 rounds only. Before telling me, oh, he had something going on in the build-up to the Bokniak fight. He made it the first 3-round main event in UFC history. In Russia, UFC Fight Night Moscow. Because he didn't want to go 5 rounds. He would not have been able to beat Holloway in a 5-round fight. Not a fucking chance. And Cater had a decent second round, but... You know, Zabit was hitting his gloves with, like, wheel kicks, and the crowd was going, oh! Like that, you know. Like, there was a lot of that going on, but I did think that Zabit won pretty clear. Changed to 3 rounds, moved to Moscow. Moved to Moscow, exactly, yeah. And you'll never guess where they were originally meant to fight. Boston. Yeah, for Calvin Kattar, right? That's shit, actually. That is awful in hindsight, right? Dude, Calvin Kattar, let it be known, yeah. Calvin Kattar flew from Boston to Russia to fight Zabit Magomedsharipov to make that fight stay in place. And Zabit wouldn't even make it 5 rounds and made it the first 3-round main event of all time. Insane. How much Kattar was willing to do to get that fight to stay together and how little Zabit was willing to do. And he still nearly broke him in the 3rd round as well. I don't know why he threw the fucking flying knee, though. He's retarded, I guess. Impression of Jabli under the bridge cover. And I don't ever want to feel nice and soapy clean. Take me to the place I love. To wash and get gangrene. And I don't ever want to feel... Sorry, I'll stop. Nice and soapy clean. Take me to the toilet I love. And watch me make it scream. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a stench. Sometimes I feel like my only friends are the flies that linger by me, the city I poo in. Smelly as I am, together we poo. I don't ever want to feel nice and soapy clean. Take me to the place I love. Any other country in the fucking world but mine. I don't ever want to feel... Sorry, yeah. Guru, I see a baddies, quick. What do I say? You go up to them. Here's how the best way to rizz up baddies, chat. And let me tell you this. You go up to them and you say, good day, young lady. And you twiddle your mustache like this. And then twirl your cane around. And you say, you're looking as fine as a summer's day, honey. Like that. And then you flick your toothpick up in the air. Catch it in your mouth. Don't mind if I do, dear. And then that should work unless they spray you in the face with pepper spray and say, get away from me, you autistic freak. I don't know, though. It's like a hit or miss type of thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, like 1800s Riz, you know. You gotta take it back sometimes. Dollar's been a fan for about 4 months and was curious about how impressions became such a big part of the stream. Or has it just always been that way? Impressions have always been a thing of my life. I'll be real with you. They've always been a thing for my life. Like, even when I was a kid, my mum would have me do impressions for her friends. And I think my dad didn't like it because he thought it'd, like, make me gay or some shit like that. So it kind of stopped. But then when I went to school, I started doing South Park impressions, Family Guy impressions, and things like that all the time. So impressions have permanently been a thing in my life. No matter where I've gone, eventually people have poked and told me to do an impression of this, do an impression of that. Do an impression of this. Non-stop throughout my life. Every school, everything. I've been a jester, yeah, exactly. I've been a literally lifelong hired jester for people's entertainment, dude. It's insane. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, you did have a point. Thank you for the 2. What's your best Family Guy impression? Brian! I need to drink something before it, but that's what it is. Brian, the fat man made it funny. Thank you for the 2 months. Brian, the fat man made it funny. Who's your favorite South Park character? Cartman, of course.
How would you like to suck my balls?
I used to do all the impressions when I was a kid, dude. Guru, do this. Guru, do that. Now do this voice. Do that voice.
I said, how would you like to suck my balls?
I do all of the voices, dude. So I was pretty good at them. What did you say? Sorry. Can you do Butters? I used to be able to do Butters when my voice was a little bit higher. I don't know if I can do it now. I haven't done it in ages. Butters is oh, sure. Oh, geez, sure, shucks, guys. I sure don't know, guys. That's more Butters, right?
And do you know what I'm saying? And you can talk to my bottom bitch, and my bottom bitch talks to me.
That's how Butters used to sound in South Park. When I had a bit of a higher voice, I could do it a bit better. You seen Conor caught cheating again on D? Yeah. I didn't see that, actually, no. Impression of Kayla Harrison singing God Save the King. God Save the King, brother! I don't know. I said you'd be a jester. Yeah. Impression of Cartman telling Dana to suck his balls, but Dana can't hear him, thanks. All right, the gate was 7 million. Who's got the first question? You and the beanie.
How would you like to suck my balls?
What? What do you say, Ariani? Oh, one more time?
Sorry, what I said was, how would you like to suck my balls?
Come on. How would I like to suck his balls? Nobody get this kid out of here. I don't know what he would do. Some shit like that. Thank you for the $5. What? How would I like to suck his balls? I mean, come on. Get this kid out of here, please. BKFC 2, the press conferences are fire. Where is the energy from the UFC gone? I'm almost ready to not tune in until pay-per-view anymore, I know. Let's face it, chat. Real UFC fans don't tune in until the pay-per-view. Let's just keep it real. No, Kevin Vallejos isn't in the chat. It's a fake account. But still, real ones don't watch the UFC Countdown, dude. I don't watch UFC Countdown. I don't watch UFC Embedded. I don't watch any of it. It's the same shit every time, man. I just show up to the fights now. It's the fights that I care about. If something actually interesting promotion-wise piques my interest, then I'll put full force into it, you know what I mean? And I'll actually make videos about it and all of that type of stuff. But, dude, the build-up to fucking cards are awful. No point watching the Countdown. No point watching Embedded. It's useless. Ryan Span's still around. Fucking hell, man. What are the UFC doing? I don't understand why they keep people around so long. Just giving free careers to people that are dog shit. Yes or no, chat? Once a fighter has proven that they're dog shit, fucking get rid of them. Like, straight up get rid of them. Like, if Ryan Spann can't win a fight at, like, heavyweight, and then he goes to heavyweight and he's throwing wheel kicks while he's fucking rocked, he's on a good contract. They're probably paying Ryan Spann 70 for 70. You know what I mean? Because he has wins in the UFC. He beat Reyes. He has certain wins. But once we know that he just fluked a KO punch over Reyes and didn't do fuck all much else in his career, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? Get rid of him. They got rid of Vucenic? Exactly. And Vucenic actually has some talent, but just had a hard first two fights. But once someone proven that they're throwing wheel kicks while they're rocked, I can ship them off. And Vucenic's going to be back, dude. I promise. $10 even on everything. What's up, man? Hot take. DDP is not the heel of middleweight because every beef he's been in, bro was either not the aggressor like Strickland or was in the right like against Adesanya. Bro is a lawful rage baiter. Yeah, he's just the ultimate counterattack. He's the ultimate verbal counterattack. You know? He does take it... Well, to be honest with you, yeah, he took the Strickland thing to a different level. Fair, but it was a response. He didn't take the Adesanya stuff to a different level. He barely gave Adesanya like 10% of the energy that Adesanya was giving him. Like, how is Adesanya the one crying on stage because Drickus said that he grew up with servants, which he did, by the way. and something about a dog, which he touched inappropriately and has had a lot of posts suggesting things and followed a dog porn page. But Adesanya's like disgracing his entire lineage and heritage and ethnicity and nationality and all of that, going into ancestry shit, and Drickus is just not even emotional in whatsoever. You know what I mean? That's actually insane. Actually insane. The amount that Adesanya went in on Dricus and he didn't have any shred of emotion. But then Dricus just went back at like some real shit that Adesanya actually has existed. That is Adesanya. He just showed Adesanya reality and he cried. Crazy. If you had to train any fighter to come from the slums and make it to a belt, who you picking? Train any fighter to come from the slums and make it to the belt? Jordan Vucenic? No, I'm joking. Oh, God, I feel bad that he got cut from the UFC. Probably Volkanovski. He started as a like 18-year-old, right? If he started from like a kid, no one would, like, he'd destroy Makhachev. Like, if Volkanovski started MMA, chat, yes or no? If Volkanovski started his MMA and martial arts training as soon as Makhachev did, he'd genuinely fucking show him so much levels. It's insane. I really think so. Like, Makhachev isn't actually built different. Like, he's strong. But if Volk was training for the same amount of time, he would fucking destroy Makhachev, I reckon. No, the rugby helped. I disagree, dude. I think, like, hard, specific training for wrestling defense and wrestling offense and striking offense and striking offense is better than just playing rugby in a fucking field. I think it's a good base rather than doing nothing or doing another regular sport like football or basketball maybe. But because of the physicality aspect and the durability aspect. But no, if Volk was training as long as Makhachev, he fucking schools him, dude. No, he wouldn't. Well, he nearly beat him after starting at 18 when Makhachev's been doing it since he was a child. So he genuinely would. So, yeah. Even if he started a year earlier or 2 years earlier, he probably would have edged Makhachev in that first fight. So, yeah, you're dead wrong. Thoughts on McKinney pushing for him versus Chandler? I don't know if you want to be a part of his fucking children, but I don't know, man. I don't think that's the move. I think McKinney has barely got above, like, he's barely kept himself afloat from bottom feeder level lightweight, if we're calling it what it is. You know? Borshev, Hadzovic. Like, well done, McKinney. You're not the worst lightweight in the UFC. Proven. You know? You're not one of the 10 worst lightweights we have on the roster. Now, time for some fucking, you know, tests in the UFC. Figured out. Dude, Terrence McKinney called out Michael Chandler. Your son's all grown up, but time for a new man of the house. Lol, no one told me this is how he called him out. How dare you tell me that Terrence McKinney called out Michael Chandler earlier on the stream and not tell me that this is how he called him out? Whoever did that earlier, how fucking dare you, straight up. You know how easily I brushed that shit off and said, Terrence has got a lot more work to do before he gets a Chandler fight. Now I'm in. Now I'm in, dude. Terrence McKinney said, your son's all grown up. Time for a new man of the house. T-Rex versus Iron Mike. Let's see who's the best first RDer. The best first rounder in the lightweight division. Now we're talking, dude. Dude, I want that fight so I can, like, commentate and say, he's trying to put you on a naughty step, Terrence. Don't have it, Terrence. Can you imagine? Chandler gets a takedown. Don't let him do it, Terrence. He's trying to put you on that naughty step, dude. Don't have it. He's trying to put you in timeout, Terrence. That's what they call him, dude. No timeout, Terrence. Yeah. You know what? It was his editor in Wales that actually tweeted that actually was messaging that shit in my chat. The entire time. Whatever that fucking bullshit story you said, that was the truth. Thank you for the membership. Jim is trying. I appreciate you. I've already read that. Impression of Pirate McGregor plotting on raiding. Guru definitely beats off. Okay. There's a bit of a Hadley voice. Did you see Nina Fighting Nerds video? So bad. You know what, chat? Yeah. We're never going to get cool fighters anymore because the job of the media is to make them silly and goofy and gay. Like, let's just call it what it is, man. Anytime, like, some epic fighters with aura rise to the top, some kind of, like, big media member or media company or, like, TV show just fucking feminizes them or fucking, like, makes them childlike completely. Like, we can't have a stoic Chad anymore, you know? Like, it's a fucking matter of time before they have Pavlovich, like, doing some kind of thing on a TV show where he has to, like, show off dance moves or something, you know what I'm saying? Jews, yeah. Exactly. Thank you very much for they're trying to bring us all down to their fighting level. You know what I'm saying? Crabs in a bucket type shit. Or J's in a bucket, you know? Yeah, folks. Yeah. You see Max coping against Ilia? I did see that. He said he doesn't hit as powerful. Which I understand, but you're nitpicking at that point just to not give him credit for something. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you saying Gaethje hit harder, man? He barely did anything to you in the fight. Yes or no, chat, as well. Holloway, in my opinion, yeah, Holloway over-exaggerates the knockdown from Gaethje as well, just to give him praise and be like a good guy that gives him praise. Don't you think? That knockdown from Gaethje was some baby shit. Who's with me on that? Dude, he barely knocked Max off balance, and Max was fine. Like, on the way down, he was completely coherent, and he got right back up. You know? And Holloway acts like that was the fucking craziest thing he's ever been hit with, and it's just like, dude, I understand trying to give opponents praise because you fucking humiliated him face down at the end at UFC 300, but I think it was mostly balanced. Like, I feel like Ilia 100% hits harder. Like, yes or no, chat, Ilia Topuria catches Fiziev clean, he's going out. Let's go through Gaethje opponents. Ilia Topuria catches Fiziev clean with some shit. He's going out. He's getting finished. If Ilia catches him with that uppercut, with that hook that Gaethje did, he's done. I reckon I don't think Fiziev has this granite chin, you know? He's got a good chin, but, you know, I do think Ilia hits harder than Gaethje. Or he's just a more devastating knockout puncher. Maybe he doesn't hit harder. Who knows? Maybe that's the technicality here. Ilia more precise, not more powerful. Okay. Holloway said Ilia wins are overrated. Alright, well, it's all good. Impression of McGregor with a whip telling no. If you're worthy. Guy above said it, but as much as I love Max, the Ilia cope is gay. Yeah, it is kind of copey, yeah. You know what's more sad than that, though? Paulo Costa not responding to me asking for an interview. Dreadful. Go MMA, you say the wrong thing, and I can neutralize a source of your income in a snap of the fingers like that. You little leech parasite human. Add that to the outro of your fucking video.